All right, here's a question for you. Should the WikiLeaks website be labeled a, quote, terrorist organization? The incoming chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee says that the website, quote, poses a clear and present danger to our national security. Republican Peter King joins us from New York right now. He's at the Capitol right now. He's the congressman from New York, I should say. Congressman King, good morning. Good to have you here today.
Good morning, Martha.
You know, I'm curious what you thought yesterday on this program. We were wondering out loud where the Department of Justice stood on this issue, and you've raised questions about this. Then Eric Holder did come out on during our show on America's Newsroom yesterday and start talking about it. Were you satisfied with the investigation that DOJ is launching into this?
From what I know, Martha, I'm not. I mean, this has been going on now for months, and I didn't see any sense of urgency from Eric Holder. To me, this is a catastrophic event. And he was talking about it almost in a casual way, considering how important the event was. You know, when you have Hillary Clinton talking about the tremendous diplomatic damage this has done, when you have people like Secretary Gates talk about the tremendous military damage that was done with the last series of leaks, to me, Eric Holder, who was so quick to sue Arizona over the immigration law, who began investigations of the CIA interrogators, just seems to be treating this as another case. It makes the United States look helpless in the eyes of the world. We have someone who's sabotaging our system, and yet we act as if nothing could be done. We should be moving quickly to make an example of him and to shut this down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, you know, I sense in your voice, and I've sensed in a lot of people, a level of concern, and that there isn't more outrage coming from the administration on this issue. You know, we had KT McFarland here. She worked in a couple of different White House administrations in the NSA. She said, you know, the hackers are the new terrorists. This guy needs to be taken extremely seriously. You know, I mean, where does all this outrage go, and why do you think we're not getting more emotion, I guess, I hate to use that word, from the administration in this case?
To me, it's possibly because this administration probably grew up looking upon Daniel Ellsberg as some type of folk hero, as the Pentagon Papers being a great moment in American history. And they just don't have it in them to go all out against someone like WikiLeaks. But the fact is that this type of hacking, this type of cyber theft, are really the terrorist weapons of the 21st century. And that's why we have to adapt. That's why we have to use traditional legislation such as the Espionage Act, but also I've called to have WikiLeaks declared a terrorist organization so we can seize their assets, because they are aiding and abetting terrorist organizations. They are providing the weapons to terrorist organizations, giving them information which they can use to kill Americans, to compromise America's standing around the world. And to me, because they are accessories to a terrorist organization, we should declare them a terrorist organization, which will enable us to seize their assets and also to go after anyone who assists them in any way. Listen, if this is serious, we have to act seriously about it.
Yeah, folks that we've spoken to on this agree with you, that would be the way to go after them, that there is grounds here to label them as a terrorist organization. Are you getting any good response from the State Department or DOJ? I know you wrote letters to both yesterday asking for that. Any response from them?
I've not heard anything yet from the Justice Department or the State Department. A number of members of Congress have told me they think I'm doing the right thing. But again, I just don't see the concern and the outrage out there that we should be seeing with a moment like this. Maybe because there's no bomb blowing up in front of our face. But the fact is, the bombs are out there, the time bombs are out there, and they're going to go off, and by then it's going to be too late.
You know, Sarah Palin made an interesting point on all this, and I want to bring it up to show folks at home, and I want to get your reaction to it, Congressman King. She said, first and foremost, what steps were taken to stop WikiLeaks Director Julian Assange from distributing this highly sensitive classified material, especially after he had already published material not once but twice in the previous months? He is an anti-American operative with blood on his hands. His past posting of classified documents revealed the identity of more than 100 Afghan sources to the Taliban. Why was he not pursued with the same urgency that we pursue al-Qaeda and Taliban leaders? Interesting question, don't you think?
Absolutely. I agree with Governor Palin completely. This person should be pursued. Assange is absolutely guilty. He does have blood on his hands. And the fact is that there should be much more outrage. The administration seems to be going through the motions at this stage. Yeah. And I don't know what they've been doing over the last 4 or 5 months. I've seen no evidence of any real action at all against WikiLeaks.
You know, she asks NATO, the EU, were any of these entities consulted? We know that he was in London not that long ago. Nobody knows where he is. To your knowledge, have any of these entities been consulted and asked to help to track this guy down?
I'm not aware, but I'm going to be getting a top-secret briefing on this tomorrow, which will probably be in the New York Times the next day. But I will be getting briefed tomorrow on it to find out the details of what's been done, what is intended to be done. But so far, I've seen no evidence of anything substantial at all.
Fascinating. Congressman King, as always, it is good to talk to you, sir. Have a good day. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Martha.